America, the land of the free, the land of enviously cheap petrol, the land where everything seems so big. People drive cars as big as barges, but not everybody drives such big cars. The sensible people in America drive cars like this, the Chrysler Neon. Now you're thinking, this isn't a new car, and you're right, it was introduced in 1996. Since when? It's become very successful as far as European sales go. Its quirky styling is very appealing. Everybody wants a slice of American apple pie, and they get this because the car is built at the Belvedere plant in Illinois, and maybe that's why it's so successful. Now, potential Neon customers wanted more cars in the range, and their prayers have been answered with two new versions, a 1.8 LE at under £12,000, and this, the 2-litre CS. It's slightly sporty, slightly fun, and this comes in at £15,495, and both cars offer tremendous value for money. Now, this is one thing that's rather bizarre about the Neon, the starting procedure. We were mystified yesterday when the car would not start. We had to go and ask, rather embarrassingly, how do you start the car? And it seems you need to put your foot on the clutch and hopefully it will start. It's not done it again. And sometimes you seem to need to reset the whole system and unset it, and then, as if by magic, it starts. What it's all about, I just don't understand. The interior of the Neon is very roomy due to its cab-forward design, and that gives plenty of room inside. Look at all this headroom here, enormous amount of headroom, and it's very light, it's very airy here in the cabin. Tremendous all-round visibility, and a family of 5 will be perfectly happy in a car like this. You get power steering, remote central locking, electric front windows, adjustable steering column, radio cassette and twin airbags. This 2-litre CS gets load suspension, a front and rear spoiler, beefed up wheel arches and this rather ridiculous power bulge in the bonnet. Why oh why? There are also some clever little touches on the Neon. These folding mirrors to squeeze into your shoebox-sized garage, extending sun visors to block out unwanted glare, and what's the cup holder count? Just the 2. It's really quite a fun car to drive, this Neon. Power in the 2-litre is 131 brake horsepower through a very smooth gearbox. It's easy to use. Or you can choose the automatic box and it will cost you not a penny more. And 70% of Neon buyers apparently go for the automatic. Handling is great. The steering's very responsive. The car goes exactly where you steer it. And very positive brakes makes you feel really good in the car. And air conditioning keep you beautifully cool.
We've introduced these two new models to expand the choice for customers who are looking to buy Neon. When we launched Neon 2 years ago, we were looking at offering a range of vehicles which were new to the UK. They brought with them exceptional value for money, great level of specification, great fun to drive, and really a package which up to that point was really quite unique in the market. With the two new models that we're launching today, the 1.8 LE Neon and the 2-litre CS Neon, we're extending that choice further for our customers.
Now I have to say, I really like this Chrysler Neon. It's solid, it's reliable, it's roomy, and up against, say, a Ford Escort, well, this would be my choice. And the new 1.8 LE at less than £12,000 is an astonishingly cheap car. The Yanks certainly know how to churn them out. This 2-litre CS rather cheekily uses the sport label, but apparently it's what you, the customer, wants. And I, for one, I'm not going to argue with that.
today we're here at a place where miracles happen. I've got with me Brian Walker from St Christopher Motors. Now, his main trade is to deal in between main dealers with cars that they don't want. But as part of that, he does a good job of valeting. In fact, he's known as Huddersfield's best valeter. Behind us, we've got a 7-year-old tired Fiesta. Mechanically perfect, well serviced, brilliant. But the bodywork is dull, lifeless and horrible. And Brian promises me that in 2 hours, it'll shine like a new car. Now Brian, would you like to take us round the car and show some of the features that really make this look dull and horrible?
Okay, this car's been used to go up and down the motorway at speed. We've got all the dead flies on the front, we need to get rid of those. We've got the bird lime that's already started to eat into the paintwork here. That should have been got off straight away. These surface scratches that you can see, they'll all come out once we start cleaning the car. And as you walk around this side, you can see we've got some wheel trims missing off the front wheel there. Again, surface scratches all in here, all around the handles. 1 or 2 stone chips that really, they should have been touched up as soon as they started at the end of last winter. They've left all last winter's dirt and grit and salt down in the crevices here, never been taken away, with some more bird lime on the back here, which, quite a big blob there, that might leave a nasty mark. And again, we've got some scratching around here, and really the car is generally tired and just wants a little bit of love and care and attention, and that's what we're going to do. Give me 2 hours.
You've promised us, you've got to come good on your promises.
Okay.
We'll see you again in 2 hours. Just a quick question. How long have you been using one of those?
Oh, I guess 20 years now.
Right. For those of you at home, you can do a hell of a lot of damage with one of those. In trained hands, they're a magic tool. But for the untrained, 200-300 quid's worth of paintwork damage in an instant. Just be careful with one of them. I think you get on.
A lot of damage to yourself as well.
That looked a bit of a lethal weapon, that, Brian. I wasn't going to speak to you when you got that in your hand.
That gets rid of most of the dirt though, from all under the wheel arches and all under the bonnet. We're now ready to start and make the thing shine.
You get it shining, I'll just stand and watch you,
Again.
you work. Hi Brian, I see you've shifted the car and you've given me this stuff. What's going on here?
Well, this is the easy part now. We've done the hard work, we've got rid of all yesterday's grime. Let's see if we can make it shine now. We've brought it into a dry part so that we can paint the tyres without getting them wet again, that's all.
Right, what do I do with this stuff?
Rub some on.
Just as simple as that?
Carefully, yeah, plenty on. The work's been done, this is to put the protection on.
Right, do you want me to start on the bonnet then?
That'll do.
Right, I finished with this stuff. Right, what on earth is that gunk you've got in your hand? I'm blown
Wheels
away.
and tyres. Come on.
2 hours ago, Brian, if I didn't know you better, I
Thereabouts.
I thought you'd be telling us lies, but true to your word, I mean, 2 hours ago I wouldn't have given tuppence or a second glance for this car. Now I might actually pay good money for it.
That'll do.
Thanks a lot, Brian. Thank you very
You're welcome.
much.
Okay, thanks for coming down.
Just imagine for a moment that Ian Fleming is sitting down to write the latest James Bond novel, and he thinks that for a bit of a laugh he'll have James running away from the action. And instead of ordering martinis, shaken not stirred, he'll order one of those. It just wouldn't work, would it? It would be completely out of character and people wouldn't buy the book. And that's the same reason why the BMW 3 Series has evolved gracefully rather than dramatically. Cheers.
Many might have thought that this, the previous 3 Series that has been so popular over the past 7 years, would, under the design leadership of the extrovert, charismatic American Chris Bangle, be transformed into the automotive equivalent of the Starship Enterprise. But no, for this is the all-new design. Still distinctively a BMW, still definitely a 3 Series. Yes, it can safely be said that the new BMW 3 Series has certainly started a new chapter of its history, but without completely losing the plot. It can be argued that the compact executive segment was created single-handedly by BMW and the much-loved 3 Series. Of course there are rivals, the Audi A4, the Alfa 156, the Mercedes C-Class, but the Beamer really was the pioneer, and its understated, sporty sophistication has won it many admirers. In fact, the car currently sells around 400,000 in the world each year. But time does move on, and so do drivers' expectations. At first glance, the lines may look fairly similar, but underneath there is an all-new platform with plenty, and I mean plenty of improvements. The first thing you'll notice are the rather exquisite headlights. Ooh, that's because we're in Italy. The exposed reflectors give a high-tech feel, although they're highly practical so that air can circulate, and the lighting units are underscored by these distinctive curves. And the kidney shapes are now incorporated into the curve of the bonnet itself. Neat pull-out door handles are another subtle change. And these rear light clusters have been completely redesigned. The whole body looks far sleeker, yet somehow has a more muscular stance. The doors no longer run into the roof, there is more of a taper at both ends, but the whole car is unmistakably a BMW.
In terms of the overall design of the car, it is evolutionary, and it's intentionally made to be evolutionary. Actually, we could have designed a completely different motor car, and it wouldn't have cost a penny more, something which didn't look like a BMW. But actively, we felt as a company it's important that it is a recognisable BMW. And I think part of the reason for that is that cars which set a type of trend or become a role model in their class, and the 3 Series is one of those, and maybe the VW Golf is another one, they've actually set or have developed a particular position in the marketplace. And the customers, who have responded by buying more and more as the generations have gone past, obviously like that. And therefore to change dramatically would probably be the biggest mistake we could make.
Now I want you to cast your mind back for a moment to a time when England had a little bit more success in World Cup football. The year is 1966. England have won the Cup, but Germany have countered that victory by unveiling the very first compact executive car. That was to become the 3 Series. That simply goes to prove the longevity of this design and its appeal to many buyers over the years. Once behind the wheel yourself, you realise why the 3 Series has created such a fast-growing prestige niche. You don't have to have a big car to create a very positive statement, although in effect the new 3 Series is much larger than the old one. There's certainly more room inside for the passenger and for the drivers, which was one of the only gripes about the last model. The saloon is the first to be made available. The revised coupe follows in 1999, along with the cabrio, touring and compact. 5 new engines are on offer with the 3 Series. The unloved 1.6 litre 4-cylinder petrol and the 1.7 litre diesel have been dropped to make way for bigger power plants.
And we've been promised a 320 diesel, which apparently will have as much torque as a 328 petrol engine. This, the 1.9 litre, has been given twin rotating balancer shafts to help reduce the dreaded NVH factor. That's noise, vibration and harshness to you and me. The ride is now so smooth you'd swear that there's a 6 under there. And on the road the cabin noise is greatly reduced. In fact, BMW claim that the new 3 Series is now as quiet as the 5 Series. But hang on just a minute. A larger body, a longer wheelbase and wider track. Larger engines, refinement to match a 5 Series. Isn't the new 3 Series simply a 5 Series in disguise?
I don't think the 3 Series is losing its identity. It's clearly a BMW and it's clearly an evolution of the current car. Bears some visual resemblance to the 5 Series and indeed the 7, but that's in a BMW way. There's an easy identifiable BMW style. The car is 1.5 inches longer than its predecessor, but it's still 12 inches shorter than the 5 Series, so it's a very, very different car.
One of the problems that BMW face is that the 3 Series has become popular, too popular for those who cherish the exclusivity of ownership. So now you're offered even more customisation so you can make your new 3 Series as individual as you are.
There are 4 trim levels: black plastic, polished black aluminium, wood and matte chrome titanium. 4 steering wheels are in offer, with or without the multifunction switches. 6-cylinder cars get chrome strips around the side windows and body-coloured pull-out door handles. And the new 328 has chrome edges to the grille bars.
In fact, it would be easier to win the lottery than to have to endure the shame of finding a 3 Series with exactly the same trim in the car park next to you.
BMW tell us that safety has been well upgraded. ABS and ASC&T traction systems are more refined and side airbags are now available for the first time on a 3 Series.
In fact, if you decide to order the rear side airbags, your new 3 Series will come complete with 8 airbags, including the new ITS head bag, which bursts out of here to protect your head should you need it.
The 3 Series also offers CBC. Now this stands for cornering brake control. It adjusts the brake pressure individually if the car begins to oversteer. You're simply cosseted by technology like this all around you, and with Bavarian build quality and certain low depreciation levels, you can almost hear the noise of thousands of company car drivers ticking this as their first choice for next year's model.
3 Series is priced very competitively. We always compete in terms of value. To do that properly, you have to look very carefully at the specification level and not just the price. And also things like the running costs. The current car, in terms of servicing, costs something like 40% less than the current model and is cheaper to service than any of its competitors in the quality class. So if you look at the whole ownership experience, the car does represent very, very good value.
So what about the new dash? More German, Teutonic, all-black depression? No, the colour is broken up by a dashboard that now comes in 3 colours and it's been totally redesigned.
The new 3 Series dash is wide, wider than even the 5 Series, and it seems to flow into the door panels.
Don't be deceived by what you think are similar looks. Nothing has been carried over except the sump plug. I mean, literally, it is an all-new motor car. Even the engines have been changed. They're still related to the engines which were in before, but they've been refined to provide better torque, better fuel consumption, better emissions. As you saw, the interior is entirely new. Every single panel of the body is different. And I think if you actually drove up and looked at the old or the outgoing model against the new one, you'd see it quite suddenly. Another point I'd make is that BMW design is always quite subtle, and therefore when you first see something, sometimes it's quite difficult to see what exactly are the differences. But the subtlety is something which, over a period of time, you begin to appreciate.
Well, after driving the new 3 Series, we reckon BMW are onto another winner. They've carefully improved every aspect of this car, bringing it nearer to that automotive nirvana of motoring perfection. My only other worry is that the gap between the 3 and the 5 Series is getting smaller. With so many BMW owners going for a debadged option, it's soon going to be very difficult indeed to decide exactly which BMW has overtaken you on the motorway.
Oh, hello there, Roy Brooks again here, and I've got some more motoring memorabilia for you. In fact, today I've got an absolutely super little piece, something you very, very rarely see. Here it is. Can you see? It's a glass motoring mascot made by René Lalique of the famous Lalique firm, and really a lovely little piece. It's in satin and clear glass, and these were made from 1931 onwards, although I rather suspect this particular one was made post-war, because the cap is from a post-war Bentley. But they're very, very nice things to have and relatively rare. In fact, so rare that some of those that were produced in the 1920s and 30s, then they can go for £3,000–4,000. Lovely items. But this one, as well as all the others as far as I'm aware, then you can actually illuminate it from inside. And it looks very attractive, particularly when it's going dusk. You can just see this illuminated mascot. Let me just try. Of course, the chauffeur would just simply have to put on the side lights, because it would come on with the side lights, and it'd make a most attractive little mascot. There we are. That's lovely, is that? Can you see? Now, let me make another little point, if I may, please. That is, if you happen to see one of these glass mascots in the shape of a fox, a flying fox about 8.5 inches long, then you really could be in luck, because those have been known to sell for £80,000 plus. 80,000, enough to buy you a Rolls Royce.